Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third edition of Adyogi's product webinar, Decoding Adyogi platform. Before we get started, I'd like to ask our attendees to introduce themselves in the chat box. If you're a managed service client, if you're a self-serve client, or if you're an agency partner, let us know in the chat section. In case you have any specific questions that you'd like our panelists to answer today, then drop them down below without any second thoughts. We also have an interesting update around Universal Analytics to GA4 migration during today's webinar, so stay with us till the end. Those of you who have just joined, I would request everyone to introduce themselves, drop your website URL, tell us a little about your brand, which industry you belong to, so that we can get an idea about what audience we are talking to during today's webinar. We'll be covering around 5 features in today's session. They will revolve around how you can navigate through UA to GA4 migration, how you can check your catalog health on the Adyogi platform, and many more features. So stay with us and keep your notepads ready because it's going to be a super informative session. All right, we have a lot of people joining in right now, so drop your details in the chat box. We'd be happy to see what kind of people are joining us today. So basically, we conduct this webinar on first Thursday of every month. So you can always use the same registration link to join us on every first Thursday of every month. So we cover different features about the Adyogi platform that help you automate your way to e-commerce success using automations, using different optimization techniques and use cases of those automations so that you can optimize your campaigns in a better manner and more efficiently. All right, we also have founders joining in. That's great. That's great. We are happy that you guys are using the platform, Adyogi platform, to manage your campaigns. That's amazing. Come on, everyone. We are looking forward to see your responses. We need to know a little about what brands are you handling. If you're a founder, if you're a performance marketer, if you're a digital manager, digital marketing manager, we'd love to know a little about you. Which industry does your brand belong to so that we can give some optimization tips and some use cases during the webinar itself, along with the feature updates of the Adyogi platform. All right, for those of you who have just joined, I'd like to give a quick update. We have an interesting feature around Universal Analytics to GA4 migration on the Adyogi platform. So we'll be covering that in today's session. So stay with us till the end because as you are all aware, Universal Analytics has now stopped processing data and GA4 is the way to go forward. So you guys can see both GA3 and GA4 data on the Adyogi platform. How to do that on the Adyogi platform is what we'll be covering in today's session. So stay with us. All right. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. So as I said, introduce yourselves in the chat section. We'd be happy to know a little about you. All right. 2 successes down, but as they say, the third time's the charm. So hello, everyone. Welcome to the third edition of Adyogi's product webinar, Decoding Adyogi platform. We're excited to have you all here. I hope you're all set and have your notepads ready because we are about to have a super informative session with the product team here. To introduce myself, I am Muskan, product marketer at Adyogi, and I'll be your host and presenter for today. So without any further ado, let's set the agenda for today. Pranav, who's team lead at the Adyogi product team, will be taking you through some key updates and features of our platform along with their use cases, post which we will have a live Q&A session wherein you can send in your queries related to what we discussed during the webinar or otherwise. So hope you enjoy the session. Over to you, Pranav.
Thank you, Muskan. Very good afternoon to all of you. Just let me know if my screen is visible so that we can start.
It's visible, Pranav. We are good to go.
Got it. So team, let's just jump right into the webinar itself, decoding the Adyogi e-commerce platform. The idea is to make this session as interactive and as informative as possible. The pace will be slow so that, whatever we've been discussing in this webinar goes smooth. So let's start. So the first feature that we have for you is the regional analysis report, which helps you identify your cities, states, and countries where your campaigns are performing the best and strategize your performance marketing efforts accordingly. So going to the platform, the regional analysis report can be found under the analytics section, brand analysis, where you will be able to see the regional analysis report. Now, as the concept of the report, the regional analysis report lets you know which regions in terms of your country, state, cities are performing better basis the conversion rate. Now, let's just talk about a basic use case as to how these reports can be helpful to you in optimizing your marketing efforts. So let's say in this case, currently you have all the regions listed down. Now, in case, let's say if I want to pick up those regions that are better converting as compared to other regions, I can quickly scan through the list and see that as a country, India and United States are my primary markets, where I can be putting most of my marketing, let's say my ad level targeting or my ad set level targeting, and then that can optimize my efficiency. Now, these further countries can be grouped into, let's say, at a state level, where I can then further group them at what country I want to select at. So let's say for India, I have grouped it at a state level. Now I can see at an India level, which is my most highly converting country, which states are better performing than the other. So now this gives me an understanding that at a regional level or at a state level, I may be able to pinpoint certain hero locations that are better converting as compared to others. But it also gives me the idea that which of them are negative locations that which may be sort of bleeding money or which may have a lot of traction at the ad set level in terms of targeting, but are not giving me a better conversion rate. So in this case, if you can see, almost all the states that we have targeted, we are getting a good conversion ratio in terms of the final conversion rate. But let's say if you drop down the list, we'll be able to identify certain locations that may not be performing as comparatively better as compared to the others. So now with this head report, I'll be able to find out that which cities I should start targeting and which negative locations I should start removing from my ad set targeting, so that my end targeting in terms of optimization is as precise as possible. Now, one big use case that this report can generate out of you is, let's say, for states like Maharashtra, regional festivals such as Gudi Padwa, Ganesh Chaturthi are a big hit. So in case, let's say, if your brand is launching a sale which specifically caters to these local or micro events or micro regional festivals, you can precisely use this targeting report to see which cities or which states to target. So going a step further, in case, let's say, if I have to target my Gudi Padwa sale in the state of Maharashtra, which is my best converting state in terms of India, I can further drill down and then, group it at a city level. Now, within city level, I can select Maharashtra as the state. And now within Maharashtra, I can have which cities within Maharashtra will be better targeted for Gudi Padwa. Of course, we can pick up the state as a regional festival first. But in case if you want to do micro targeting in terms of efficiency, we can do that. Now, picking up another example, certain rich regional festivals such as Gudi Padwa, your Onam, Pongal, Rakhi is around the corner. So this report can specifically be used to pick up those specific areas or regions of your country, or let's say of foreign locations where you want to target certain specific states and not do a blanket targeting. So for clients that are currently starting out, for clients that are currently focused more on a regional level targeting, the regional analysis report is a must try for you. And with that in mind, we have further future developments in mind where we'll be pulling the spends eventually into the regional analysis report, where you start receiving your data on ROAS basis as well. So apart from the conversion rate, you can also start seeing which locations are better converting in terms of your overall optimization as compared to the other regional locations. Got it. So now, guys, let's launch a poll. Let's see which of these locations has best worked out for you. Please do share your answers with us in the poll. And I think we have got a lot of metro cities in the first list to begin with. And generally, these are the cities that we have seen on an whole as a better converting cities as compared to others.
In case your city is not included in the poll, feel free to mention in the chat box, because we'd love to know which region is working well for you. And it will also help us gain a little bit of understanding which industry has more, which industry is gaining more traction in which particular region. So yeah, I think Mumbai is leading as of now. That's fair. All right, we can close the poll now.
Got it. So as dictated, Mumbai is leading the gap, followed by Bangalore. Now, moving on. So the next feature that we have is the quick, easy access widgets on the sidebar. Now, we do understand that marketing is a very time-demanding effort, but in order to provide you that efficiency and the ease of understanding as to how your specific campaigns or your catalog is performing, we have developed certain features on the sidebar that helps you understand and have a very quick look. So let's just start with this. Now, the sidebar widgets help you to keep a check on your catalog health through the Adyogi Super interactive widgets. It checks your catalog fetch and sync status and takes actions accordingly. And you'll also be able to see what's the frequency or the run of automation that you've set on an account. So I'll just quickly dive into it. Let's come to the catalog. Now, within the sidebar, you'll be able to see certain widgets that we've placed on it, which tells you your catalog health and your automations. At a catalog level, we have three features that define how your catalog is performing in terms of its health. The first is the catalog sync. The second is the catalog fetch. And the third is the product disapproval. Now, the catalog sync and catalog fetch essentially tells you that what is the level of integration or the status of integration of your catalog with A, Adyogi as a marketing platform, and B, your ad platforms such as Google and Meta. Now, the fetch indicates that was Adyogi able to fetch your catalog from your website backend in terms of your platform, and sync denotes that was Adyogi able to sync your correct catalog into your ad marketing platforms. So in case, either of the case, if there's an error, so watch out for this space. These icons will be highlighted in red. In case there's an error that is happening, you'll be able to see this icon in red, either of the icons, and then you can raise a support ticket. Let me just give you a visual presentation for the same. So in this case, we can see that the catalog fetch issue happened and the time and the date, the last the catalog fetch happened. Now, in this case, you can either raise a support ticket to us, which will directly reach out to us, or you can go to a category page and see when was the last sync date, which again, you can see from the pop-up as well. We also have a third feature, which is the product disapproval feature. So Google Merchant Center disapproves certain specific products. And we have set a limit that if certain 10% of your entire catalog products have been rejected, you will receive an error where you can go to the products page, and post that, you will be directed to the Merchant Center itself. Now, what is the use case of understanding and developing that why catalog health is important for your brand? Now, in case, let's say, if you are running a catalog-based PMAX campaign, your catalog may contain new products. So let's say in case if you're promoting, let's say, sales-specific campaigns, so let's say in case if you have an entire catalog or a product set that promotes your spring collection. Now, in order for that campaign to work, your catalog needs to be in perfect health, where your products are part of your PMAX process of showing ads. Now, in case if Google has rejected certain products from your catalog, and you are not aware about it, which you would be if you go to the catalog products page. But right from here, you'll be aware that certain products have been rejected from your catalog. And post that, you can go and see those products that are rejected. Now, the best use case would be, in case, let's say, if you launched a certain specific niche product set in terms of your sale collection, spring collection, let's say, in case if you want to offload certain inventory from your feed, you can view this page to see if Google has rejected the products or not. In case if Google has rejected your products, your Performance Max campaign performance can be greatly impacted, since those products will not be part of your catalog when it keeps running or when PMAX campaigns keep automating. So in order to make sure that all your products are part of your catalog, you need to be sure that Google has not rejected those products from your catalog. So this visibility, this icon gives you that visibility to see that which products are not part of your catalog. In case if there's a fetch or a sync issue, so let's say in case we have fetched the catalog correctly, but the catalog has not synced correctly, it could greatly impact, again, the performance of your campaigns at meta level, where your campaigns may not be picking up, or your catalog sales ads may not be picking up the correct products from your catalog. In terms of your ad copies, price, description, brand, could be anything. So just to be on the same page that the entire integration of your catalog is correctly synced with Adyogi and your marketing platforms, it is very important that all the three icons appear to be synced. In case not, you can have the option to raise the support ticket to us, and we'll be more than happy to help you in that case. Moving to the next feature, the automation health essentially tells you that what is the level of automation that have been taking place on your ad account. So quickly coming to the automation tab, you can click on the lightning icon and you'll be able to see that your ABO has run one time during the day. And if you click on the click here icon, it will open the logs that will tell you what is the log and what is the status that your ABO campaigns have. So you can see that at an overall level, how your campaigns are performing. And this is a quick log check for your ABO. So this gives you a better understanding as to how your ABO is performing and what is the current status of your net impact that automations have done for you. And this becomes very important if you've set up ABOs for, let's say, in your BAU cases or let's say in your sale cases where you want to rapidly ramp up your ad account budgets. So I hope this icon is of great help to you. Let us know in the comment section if you find these interesting or not. And we'd be more than happy to incorporate further such helpful icons in the site. Moving ahead. Now, we have the hourly ABO optimization that happens on the platform. Now, this allows you to automate your budgets, and which essentially, transpires into an automatic growth. You can run these hourly optimizations every 1, 2, 3 to let's say up to 12 hours a day. And this updates your budget on a real-time basis. And hourly ABO essentially allows you to scale your ad account on, let's say, even in your BAU days as well as your sale days. Now, as a case study, we have been working with hourly ABO for a lot of clients. And one of the industries that we've identified the success is a women apparel-based industry, where we were able to scale a sale-based campaign by 40% in 2 days with a ROAS of 3x and above. And this was purely done using the concept of hourly ABO. Now, hourly ABO as a platform or as a feature is essentially of great help. So let me just give you better use cases as to how this hourly ABO can be used within the campaign itself. Now, hourly ABO as a feature can be used for both your BAU scale-ups as well as your sale-based scale-up. Now, in case if you're running your BAU campaigns and you want to achieve your every day or let's say every month targets of budget scaling, you can set up hourly ABO, you can set up your targets. But at the time of setting up your targets, you can set up your ROAS value or ROAS range to a range which corresponds to your last 7 days of ROAS range. So you do not need to set up very aggressive targets at an hourly ABO level. Let's just deep right into it and see how do we set up an hourly ABO. Now, in case if I'm, let's say, setting up my hourly ABO for my BAU days, I would want to see the ROAS that my current account is facing for the last 7 days, and I can set up my ROAS range and everything. And then I can start my optimization and run it, let's say, not on hour basis, because this is a BAU scale-up. So I can set up my optimization and let's say at a 5-hour basis or let's say at a 6-hour basis. So let's say in the matter of, let's say, 6 hours, whatever campaigns set up meet my performance criteria, only those campaigns get scaled up. The rest of the campaigns that are normal performing do not get affected by the hourly ABO. So this will help you solve the use case of running an hourly ABO concept on a BAU level, where you can scale up your campaigns, but only those efficient campaigns that actually meet your performance criteria. Now, when it comes to sale-based cases where you want to aggressively scale up or let's say push certain campaigns that are part of your sale ecosystem, you can set up very aggressive targets at an hourly level. So in this case, we would advise you to set up targets that corresponds directly to your last 7 days of ROAS range. So you want to pick up all those campaigns that hit a certain benchmark ROAS, and then all those campaigns that fall above it can be pushed as part of your hourly ABO. Now, we have certain success cases where we were able to, in the apparel industry case, where we were able to scale certain brands 40% above scale up than their normal budgets. But at the same time, we were able to maintain a ROAS efficiency of 3x to 5x and more. Now, in certain cases, in not just an increase case, at a sale level or let's say at a BAU level, you also want to stop those campaigns from bleeding money, which are not performing efficiently. So even in sale basis as well, we were able to scale down a specific campaign that was not performing efficiently. But while scaling down, we were also able to achieve a ROAS optimization. So we started from a ROAS of, let's say, 1.3x. And while scaling down during the sale period, we were able to achieve a ROAS of 4.5x in a matter of 2 weeks. So even for BAU cases, you can set up an hourly ABO, but not at an hourly or let's say a 2-hourly frequency. For sale period, you can set up aggressive targets at every 1 hour, let's say every 2 hours, where scaling up and scaling down becomes an easy process. And this gives you more time to take up the strategy part. Let the optimization and the efficiency be part of the ABO's ecosystem. So hourly ABO should be a go-to strategy for all of you. And with the concept of easy logs, where you can view the logs of whatever the ABO budget has done, you'll be able to have a quick visibility as to what are the campaigns that got affected, what is the net impact that your account handled. So hourly ABO and the regular ABO gives you the ease and usability so that you can set up, you can do a scale up, you can do sale, you can do BAU scale ups, and you can do a rapid scale up or scale down if required. So going forward, I think ABO should be the go-to strategy for all the brands, and then this should be able to optimize your campaigns effectively. Now, the last thing that we want to pick up today was the GA3, GA4 migration that we've done. And jumping the bandwagon again, since the offsetting of GA and the Universal Analytics on 30th June itself, our team has rapidly scaled up the process of integrating the entire platform on GA4. Now, going to the platform across all the analytics pages, you would, under GA view, you would be able to see an icon of GA3 and GA4. Now, this gives you an idea that GA3 data and GA4 data has started coming back on the platform. And this, again, is visibility across all the GA pages. Now, to talk further about it, we have a webinar coming up this Tuesday, where you would be able to understand the basic concepts of GA3 versus GA4. How is GA4 going to benefit you? And what features you can derive out of GA4. So I would suggest the team to put a link of the webinar in the chat section below. And I would suggest the team invitees and the panelists and the people to please register on this specific webinar so that we can give you a deeper insight as to how GA4 will be more beneficial for you. Okay,
it's
guys,
poll
it's poll
time
time.
again. Yes, it's poll time again. So what was your favorite feature till now? Just put in your favorite feature in the poll section. All right. I hope my screen is visible. Pranav, could you confirm me?
Yes, Muskan.
All right. Thanks, Pranav, for explaining each feature and each pointer in detail. If any of you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat box or the Q&A section. We'll now be moving on to the second phase of the webinar, that is value features. Today, we'll be covering a very unique value feature that will help you improve your average order value or AOV of your Meta ad account using catalog linked ads. Catalog linked ads, also known as smart ads in Adyogi terminology. So let's understand this with a very recent real life example that we've observed on the Adyogi platform. A women's apparel brand working with Adyogi was able to scale its AOV using a price range smart ads. So what are price range smart ads? These are ads that allow you to target audiences with products in a specific price range. Let's say 1,000 to 2,000 rupees, for example. Now, what this apparel brand did was to create a smart ad with a minimum range of 3,000, as you see in this picture over here. This means they were able to create a set of all the products above 3,000 rupees on their website and show them in let's say an Advantage Plus campaign or a catalog sales campaign. Now, I'm sure you all are excited to see what results they got in terms of the increase or decrease in the AOV. But before that, let me show you how exactly did they implement this. How exactly did they make this smart ad on the Adyogi platform? So once you log into the Adyogi dashboard, click on the create button over here, select ad and then Facebook smart ad. You will be landed on this page, select product set from defined categories, and you'll be shown three options. You have to choose the second option, that is Adyogi defined categories. Once you do that, you will be shown a list of all the Adyogi defined categories. Out of these, you have to click on price range and customize here. Now, when you click on customize here, you can again set the minimum and the maximum ranges. And this is how you can create a price range smart ad on the Adyogi platform. Once you've put the price ranges, all you gotta do is choose the carousel type if you want a carousel with overlay or a slideshow carousel. Put the ad name and the ad text that you want to be shown in the ad, create my ad, and you're done. So this is what this particular apparel brand did for themselves, and the minimum range and the price limit that they put was minimum range of 3,000 rupees. Now let's head back to the results that they saw for themselves by implementing this strategy. Interestingly, the AOV of this particular creative that you see on the right was 26% more than the overall account level AOV. So suppose the average order value of the Meta ad account collectively is 2200, then the average order value of this particular creative that you see over here was 2800, which is 26 to 26% more. So some other optimization tips that that prove that pricing in smart ads can work for you are you can use the maximum range that is below such as below 700 to clear the inventory of lower price products. So suppose you have a sale coming up and you want to clear the inventory of all the lower price products on your website, then you can create a maximum price range smart ad and target and use that particular smart ad in your ads. And that way you can clear the inventory of those particular products. Also, a price range of 1500 to 3000 is usually recommended, and and this particular range can be set in your smart ads to maintain a healthy AOV and ROAS for most apparel brands. So this was all regarding the price range smart ads. I hope you all will start leveraging this particular value feature to optimize your meta campaigns on the basis of average order value. All right. If you guys face any issues while implementing this price range smart ads or you need any kind of guidance, then do reach out to us or just mention in the chat box below. So this was all regarding the price range smart ads. Now, as the tradition goes, we will give you a sneak peek into what's coming ahead on the Adyogi platform. So the first is linking of ad analysis page with the ad set analysis page under granular analysis. So you will now be able to move between these pages with ease, thereby allowing you to optimize your campaigns quickly and more efficiently. Then secondly, smart recommendations. So we've already implemented campaign level recommendations in the form of highlighting of campaigns in red, green, or gray to help you optimize your campaigns quickly. So you will soon be able to see similar recommendations at the category level or the product level, and also at the ad network level, which is Facebook, Google. Uh, Thirdly, we have enhanced targeting. You will now be able to target locations at a granular level on the ad set creation page itself. So stay tuned for these updates in our next product webinar, which will happen on first Thursday of August. So I think we are done with all the pointers, but before that, let me give you a little bit brief about Adyogi community. So like we always mention, in case you have any queries related to any topic that there is, if you have any issue you're facing with any feature on the Adyogi platform, or you need an expert advice, or you need any guidance related to your D2C brand, if you need any recommendation for any CRM partners or CRM marketing, anything related to e-commerce, anything related to D2C, Adyogi community is the go-to platform for you. We have recently launched this community to create an environment of learning and unlearning of concepts, myths, and questions related to performance marketing. We have a wide range of people in this community, starting from experts, enthusiasts, founders, and partners to answer any queries that you might have. In addition to answering queries, we also have Adyogi ebooks on the left-hand side, as you can see, and previous webinars. So in case you want to check out the recording of this webinar also, you will be able to see over here. The homepage will give you access to all the things we post, and we will also keep you updated over email. You can join these specific groups on the left-hand side to keep yourselves updated and not and that's it, I think. So do join the Adyogi community. We've mentioned the link in the chat section. That's how you can join the Adyogi community, and do join these groups as soon as possible. We are now opening the floor to questions, so start dropping in all the queries that you have or any doubts that you might have related to the Adyogi platform, or maybe otherwise as well. I think we have one question related to hourly optimization. So it says that does hourly ABO or automatic budget optimization in general impact the learning of my campaigns? Pranav, would you be able to take this up?
Sure. So yeah, that's a very fundamental good question that you asked. ABO in itself will not impact the learning of your campaign in any way unless and until the budget increment that you've put is not more than 25%, which again is a standard rule for Facebook. So any budget change that is above 25 or below 25, the required change will automatically impact the learning. But at an ABO level, if you do not put the increment to above 25, let's keep it below 20 for both increase and decrease case, it will not impact your learning.
All right, that's helpful, Pranav. So do implement ABO in your campaigns now that you have the answer. All right, next question is how do I set up an increase or decrease condition for my ABO? What ROAS should I put in both the cases? So again, this question is also related to ABO, one of our most valuable features on the platform.
Got it. And I'm happy that we are opening up this feature through questions as well. So setting up the ROAS is again an important step for setting up your ABO. Now, how do you set up a ROAS target for both increase and decrease case? So let's say the ideal benchmark to setting up any target should be your last 7 days ROAS for your ad account. So let's say in this case, if your ad account has a ROAS of 1x, for example. Now, while setting up an ABO target, a ROAS target, we generally recommend setting it up 30% above and below. So in this case, if you want to set up an ABO ROAS target, for increased case, you would want to set it up at 1.3x. And for decreased case, you might want to set it up at 0.7x. Now, this happens when you are setting it up at a BAU level, because you only want those campaigns that are above 30% your account level ROAS to increment or decrement in case if they're 30% below. Now, let's talk about the sale period. Now, in order to set up a sale-based ROAS target where you want to rapidly scale up your efficient campaigns, but at the same time, decrease the budget on campaigns that are not performing so that they stop bleeding money, you want to set up a target very close to your last 7 days ROAS cap. So in this case, if your account level ROAS is 1x, you might not want to push the cap of increment to 1.3x. You can have the cap at somewhere around, let's say 1.1x, or let's say 1x itself. And for decrease case as well, you can pick up the cap very close to your lowest performing campaign for the last 7 days. So in this case, it could be, let's say 0.7x or 0.8x, at which your least performing campaign works. So that only those campaigns that at least hit the basic benchmark for the last 7 days get incremented during sale periods, and then your scale process happens efficiently. So that is how you want to set up your ROAS targets at an ABO level. With again a budget cap maintenance so that your campaigns do not go into a learning phase.
Guys, we also have a best practices document shared in the chat box, so do check it out. We have mentioned all the best practices related to ABO over there. So you'll be able to set up your benchmarks effectively using that document. So the next question that we have is regarding GA3 and GA4. It says, will my GA3 data be removed from the Adyogi platform? My historic data, basically, if I have already configured GA4. All right, so I'll take this up. So it will not be removed because the GA3 data will still be shown on the Adyogi platform. But if you've already configured GA4, then you will also be able to see your GA4 data using the tabs that were shown in the deck that we just presented. So you on all the reporting pages, such as analytics report section, or GA view of all the reporting pages, you will be able to see these two tabs which says GA3 and GA4. If you toggle or switch between these tabs, you will be able to see your historical data under GA3 and your GA4 data, which is being processed since July 1 under the GA4 tab. So no changes will be made. Your historical data is safe with us, and you should be able to even download it from the Adyogi platform itself.
Just adding to what Muskan said, so team, in case if you come across the platform where your GA4 data is not, or your GA4 is not configured, you have the option to reach out to us in case if GA4 is not configured, and we'll be more than happy to help you to set up your GA4. And I think repeating again, we also have the webinar coming up on Tuesday where you can register and get all your GA4 questions answered.
Yes. All right. There is also another option which I just noticed that there's a question related to how do I protect my specific campaigns from being affected by ABO. So this question basically means if they want to exclude a particular campaign from the automatic budget optimization rules. So don't worry, we do have that feature available on the platform. I think Pranav will be able to show it on the platform itself once.
Got it. For that, let me just share my screen. I think this would be better visible from the platform itself. Now,
Correct.
team, there are ways that you can protect your campaign from ABO optimization. Of course, we understand that there are certain campaigns that you might have launched to promote certain product sets, or let's say spring collection, fall collection, or end of season sale collection, where you want those campaigns to be part of your optimization prospect, but do not want to exclude those campaigns from ABO, or in general exclude those campaigns from ABO itself. Now, to do that, you can just go to your automatic budget optimization, click on edit. Now, while setting up the campaign, you can either set up a minimum impression cap. Now, this works only case, let's say in case if you have a sale-based campaign where you want the campaign to be optimized, but not in the very nascent stages where it has not started spending, or let's say the performance is very bad. So in those cases, you can put up an impression cap. So let's say, pick up my sale-based campaign only when my impression for today is, let's say, more than 5,000 or let's say 8,000. Again, 8,000 being a standard benchmark. So only when a campaign has reached 8,000 impressions after, let's say, a spend of X amount, will the ABO will kick in. So in case if a campaign is in very nascent stages and you want that campaign to pick up eventually, you can set up an impression cap, which will protect the campaign from being part of the ABO optimization. And as in when the impression cap reaches a certain target, or like in this case, whatever you've said, the campaign will be part of the ABO optimization where it will increase and decrease accordingly. And then you can set up the increase and decrease impression cap at both an increasing as well as a decrease case itself. So for both these cases, you can set up an ABO cap. There's also another way of excluding your campaigns from the ABO itself completely, which basically means you do not want your campaigns to be part of the ABO ecosystem. Is you can click on the exclude campaign option, and from there you will see a list of all your campaigns, and you can exclude those campaigns from your ABO ecosystem. So by default, none of these campaigns will be picked up as part of your ABO. I hope this answers the question.
Absolutely. So we are allowing, I think there is one person who has raised their hand, so we'll be allowing them to unmute themselves. So yeah, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
I think we have a question from Priyanka. Does Adyogi update data from Adyogi ads built by method real time in order to? Yes, Priyanka. So in order to optimize ABO on an hourly basis, we pick up the data real time from your Facebook stats so that optimization can happen on real time on an hourly basis. So whatever the frequency that you set to optimize your ABO, at that interval of frequency, we pick up the data to optimize your campaigns.
All right. I think Tej has not unmuted himself, so no worries. You can always put your question in the chat box or the Q&A section if you want to ask anonymously or otherwise. So feel free to do that. Our next question is with regards to, I think, just a second. I think we've already covered the impressions cap in the ABO itself. So again, if you have any questions related to automatic budget optimizer, do check out the support link that we've shared in the chat box. So you can, follow these best practices while implementing your ABO so that your campaigns do not increase the budgets rapidly or decrease the budget to an extent where your learnings might be affected. Yes. So the next question is with regards to what are the use cases of the region analysis page? So how can the regional analysis page be used to create my campaign strategy? specifically, like if my campaigns are performing well in a specific region, how can I use this particular insight and optimize or basically modify my campaign strategy? Over to you, Pranav.
Correct. So regional analysis can help you understand that which are my better converting or best converting locations. So let's say if you look at the regional analysis report, you can select, there are two ways of using the regional analysis report. First, now post, let's say after certain performances start kicking in for your campaigns and you start seeing data in the regional analysis report, you can identify your hero locations, which essentially tells you that which are your best performing locations. And these locations can then be used by default on all your ad set targeting, unless there's a custom requirement to target certain specific areas. Also, this report can be used to identify your negative locations or those locations that are not giving you any performance, but still are part of your targeting. Because anyway, these targeting will also be including your audiences that are part of that specific region. So you can anyway go ahead and start excluding these locations from your regional analysis or let's say your ad set targeting. Now, third event would be, so let's say in case if you're an apparel-based brand who is into ethnic fashion, or let's say ethnic wear industry, and you understand there are certain specific festivals that require certain specific attire to be worn, you can specifically target those specific cities or let's say states or a region as a whole. So in this case, let's say if you are a brand that sells, let's say, spooky clothes or clothes that for that cater to your Halloween segment, you can specifically target the US region, and within the US region, that specific states of US that specifically have a better conversion in terms of your regional analysis. And then in those cases, you can obviously go out and sell up your Halloween costume. Similarly, for India, if you, let's say, if a festival such as Holi is coming up, you can set up your targeting to those locations in the northern region itself, those states, specific states, jahan pe you understand that Rakhi would be a big hit for you. Now, from there, you can identify your hero locations and you can set up a targeting. Now, this ad set targeting can be done, let's say, at an ad set level itself and then at an ad account level itself. So using the regional analysis report, you can pick up your locations as and when the conversion happens for those specific locations.
I think that's a pretty detailed answer. And we have a follow-up question on that. How can I exclude these negative locations, or basically the locations that are not working out for me, from the Adyogi platform? So I think you can do it on the account level as well as at the ad set level. So let me just present my screen and show you how you can implement this from the Adyogi platform itself. Uh, yeah. So go to the create button again at the top and go to Facebook ad set. Once you go over here, you have to select the campaign you're creating this particular ad set for. Once you do that, you can choose your if it's a persona ad set or a lookalike ad set. After you've done all of these things and put your different targeting options, you can select the narrow your selection further filter. So basically, if you select this checkbox, you can exclude specific states, you can include specific states, or you can include specific cities. So that's how you can, include or exclude specific locations, cities, or states at the ad set creation stage. Now, if there are some cities that have never worked for you historically and you do not wish them to be included in your campaigns as a whole, what you can do is you can again go to Campaign Manager and then Campaign Configuration. Scroll down, and over here, again in set location section, you will be able to exclude or include your country wise locations. But if you want to narrow your selection further, you can again click on this checkbox and exclude specific states, include specific states, or include specific cities. Click on save, and that's how you can implement this at the account level. So if you do it through campaign configuration, please note that all these locations will be excluded or included, whatever the case is, in all your campaigns and ad sets. But if you do it at the ad set level, then it will be implemented in that particular ad set only. So I hope that resolves your query. All right, we are almost done with this session. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Please do join us in the next webinar, that is first Thursday of August. Please give us your feedback, whatever questions you want to be answered in the next webinar, any feature requests that you have through the feedback widget on the Adyogi platform itself, and we'll be happy to take that up in the next webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a patient audience. See you next month. Bye bye.